you're going around in circles, and I'm
No, I
sorry,
feel
Jackie.
like we are going around in circles. Can I just ask you about Rangedale and LTE, those companies? Do you work for them?
No, Rangedale, we used to do a little bit with them, but then all these reports come out in the papers.
Yeah.
And they had to tell us, look, we're sorry, we can't keep
But they're
going.
big build. They contract to big build. So when I ask you if you work for contractors that contract to big build, that's one.
But
Rangedale.
hang on a second. I just told you
But
that Rangedale go and tender for the job there.
Yeah.
And then what they do with their money is their problem. They pay me. The big build don't
Yeah,
pay
but
me.
I asked you if you ever worked for contractors or intermediaries that had contract with the big build, and you said at the beginning of the interview, no.
Yeah, because the big build don't pay me.
No, but I asked you if you worked for contractors or intermediaries that work for the big build, and you said no, and they're just two that I'm giving you the examples of, LTE and
LTE,
Rangedale.
I've never worked for LTE.
Rangedale's mentioned in the Watson report that you worked for them.
Yeah, we used to get an IR fee there.
So I guess we come around to that circle there. If you get a fee from them and they work for the big build, you're working for a company that works for the big build.
Yeah, but it's nothing
And
to do with the big build.
Well, it
It's
is if that company works
But
for
it's
them.
not, because I've just explained to you. They got to go and tender for the work. They tender for the work. Hang on a second. They tender for the work. They get the work. They're the preferred tender. What they do with their money and who they employ and who they pay is their business.
But it's
nothing to do-
taxpayers' business.
It's not the taxpayers' business because it's already been tendered.
But it is taxpayers' business.
No, you're going around in circles, and I'm
No, I feel
Jackie.
like we are going around in circles,
Yeah,
but it
you
is
are.
taxpayers' business if they fund, if Rangedale works for the big build, taxpayers pay them,
Yep,
and then they pay you.
yep.
That's taxpayers' money, Mick.
But hang on a second. They've already tendered for that work. And that they might have tendered.
that's therefore
they
why-
might
but
have
that's
tendered
why
for that
the
work,
Watson
and the
report-
work's 25 million for argument's sake.
But that's why the Watson report has named you over 160 times.